I am learning that I need somebody who can, for the lack of better words, put me in my place.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Put me in my place. Yeah. That's exactly it.
And it doesn't mean, you know, he's going to come home and beat me, because I think that's where people's minds go to. But he needs to have very strong boundaries.
Yes.
Because I find a lot of Western men don't have strong boundaries. Yes. So it's just like, whatever you say goes. And I can't have that, because I know myself, I will lose respect for you. If you can't say no to me, 100%. I will lose respect.
Shout out to this chick for keeping it all the way real. Listen, guys, you have to be able to tell a woman no. Like she says, you got to have strong boundaries. Now, these boundaries are defined by your masculine identity. These boundaries are defined by who you know yourself to be. So when you know yourself, you know what you will and will not tolerate in life, and in a relationship, you know what you will and will not tolerate from a woman. So you have to be able to tell a woman no. You have to be able to set boundaries. You have to be able to set consistencies, standards, and order in your relationship. See, the thing is this. Thinking about raising a child, right? When you raise a child, you can't let your child eat candy for breakfast. OK, now, am I comparing women to children? To a certain extent. I'm not trying to say that women are like children, or I'm not trying to make a direct comparison between women and children. But what I'm saying is that in order to raise a healthy child, you must set clear boundaries. And within those boundaries, you create a standard of accountability and excellency in raising a healthy child. So it's the same thing with a woman, in the way that you have to train her to understand how to deal with your leadership. And you have to be upfront and honest to let her know the clearly defined boundaries, so she can make an educated choice to understand if she wants to follow your leadership or not. You understand? You need to know who you are. So once you set these clear boundaries, she can decide, do I want to follow this man's leadership? Does he have the type of standards and qualities that I believe make a good man? Or should I look somewhere else for leadership? OK, that's really what it's about. Because the thing with women is that because at times they can be emotional, they can be somewhat like children. So they need someone to, quote unquote, put them in their place, to let them understand that these are the boundaries. True freedom is created within healthy boundaries. And it is the boundaries that are set by the man's masculine identity that give women a healthy foundation of freedom within healthy boundaries. OK, because without boundaries, there's no such thing as freedom. There's actually anarchy and chaos. True freedom is set within a certain boundary. OK, so even though we're free as human beings, we still have certain boundaries, such as gravity, such as the need to breathe, such as the need for water and the need of nutrients for us to continue to live and thrive. So there are certain boundaries that are set by nature that give us a level of freedom as human beings, that define the existence of us as human beings within the set boundaries of nature. OK, so it's the same thing what a man does for a woman. Based on his masculine identity, he puts her in her place and gives her clearly defined boundaries and standards. And then she is able to flourish and thrive within those boundaries, because within those boundaries, she's also protected and she's also provided for. She's given a certain level of security, which allows her to be feminine, which allows her to be the best version of herself. So as you develop your masculine identity and you create these standards and boundaries and become the highest version of yourself, you then bestow these standards and boundaries on a woman. You put her in her place, which gives her the foundation to have the freedom to be the best woman she can be, to enhance your journey as a man in becoming the best version of yourself. And as you continue to become the best version of yourself, she benefits from your greatness and she continues to flourish. So it's kind of like a cooperative relationship, where as you become the best version of yourself, she becomes the best version of herself, as you provide standards, boundaries, and therefore security for her to be feminine and beautiful and to enhance your journey as a man. Now, notice she said she finds that a lot of Western men don't have strong enough boundaries. That's the reason why I created the Masculine Identity membership, because the membership is here to remind guys of their value, to remind guys that knowing who you are is very important, and it helps you to create these boundaries. It helps you to let a woman know exactly who you are so you can assertively and in a healthy way put her in her place. Because a lot of people, when they think of a man putting a woman in her place, they think of abuse or they think of some type of unhealthy, dysfunctional relationship. That's not the case. When a man who is truly masculine and who is assertive and who is honest and who knows who he is and has a certain level of self-mastery, when he puts a woman in her place, like I said, he provides structure, order, and most importantly, security. And within that security, the woman is confident enough to be feminine, to be herself, and to be a helpmate and an enhancement to that man's journey. Another thing that's very important about what she said was a woman's tendency to lose respect for a man who cannot tell her no. When you don't know how to say no to a woman, initially she'll be very excited and she'll love the fact that she gets anything she wants from you. But after a certain amount of time, when she realizes that you don't know how to create boundaries, that you don't know how to be honest, that you don't know how to really assert your masculine identity, she will lose respect for you. She will realize that you are actually a pushover. She will realize that because you cannot have clearly defined boundaries, it indicates to her that you don't have a clearly defined identity. And if you don't have a clearly defined identity, then you are susceptible to manipulation. And if she can manipulate you, then she knows that others can manipulate you. And if she knows that others can manipulate you, she also starts to realize that her security is in danger. Because if you can be manipulated, then there is no order, there is no structure, and there is no security for her to trust in. So it's very important that you understand, and not just understand, but you know who you are, so you can establish clearly defined boundaries, which create a level and a sense of security which women require. Because naturally, women are insecure, and so they seek masculinity because they're looking for leadership, order, and most importantly, security. All right, so it's your boy, My Cunningham. Hope you got something from this video. Hope you're having a great day. Be good to yourself, be grateful, and remember, the truth is inside you. Peace.